Welcome to this special video. Have you ever forgotten a name just after hearing it? Have you studied for hours but forgotten everything in the test? Do you enter a room and forget why you went there? Does your head feel too full of information and you can't recall what's important? If yes, then this video is made for you. Here you will learn the simple steps to unlock your brain, improve your memory, and remember anything for life. This is not just another 5 memory tricks video. This is a complete method that will change how your brain works starting now. And here's something extra. This video will also help your English. While listening, you'll hear clear sentences, learn new words, and understand English better. So, if you want to pass exams, recall what you read, speak better English, or train your brain like a genius, watch until the end. If you follow the steps I share, you won't forget what matters again, and you'll finally feel you can trust your memory. Let's start. Step 1. Know how memory works. The real reason you forget. Before learning how to remember, you must know why you forget. Many people believe they have a bad memory. They say, "I'm not smart, my brain is weak, I cannot memorize." But the truth is different. Your brain is not weak, it's just not trained. The first mistake is that nobody teaches us how memory truly works. Think of your brain like a library. Each time you learn something, a name, a date, a fact, it's like putting a book on a shelf. If you don't place it well, if you don't label it, if you don't check it again, it gets lost. That is what happens in your mind. Information comes in, but doesn't stay, because your brain didn't move it from short-term memory to long-term memory. This is the key. Short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory is like a whiteboard. You write something, but it gets erased if not saved. Long-term memory is like a notebook. Once written there, it stays forever. But most people keep everything in short term. They hear a name, but don't repeat it. They read a page, but don't link it with emotion. They study for exams, but never review later. So the data never goes to long-term memory, and it disappears. For example, at a party you meet someone. He says, "Hi, I'm Jason." You smile. Talk a little, then walk away. 5 minutes later, someone asks, "What was his name?" And your mind is empty. Why? Because you heard the name but didn't process it. You didn't repeat. You didn't connect. You didn't visualize. So it vanished. Now imagine again. You meet Jason and think, Jason, like the actor Jason Statham. He even looks a bit like him. You repeat, "Nice to meet you, Jason." Later, you say again, "Jason, what do you do?" Now your brain focused, connected, and repeated. It made a stronger path. Next time you'll remember. Memory is not a gift. It's a skill. And like any skill, you need to know how it works. If you throw information into your brain without a method, you'll feel lost. But with this system, you'll feel in control. So remember, your memory is not broken, only your system is. Today, we'll build a new system together. Step 2. Pay attention. You can't remember what you didn't notice. Here's a hard truth. The problem is not memory, it's attention. You cannot recall what you never saw clearly. You cannot remember what your brain never focused on. This is very important. If you don't fix attention, no other step will work. Every day, your brain gets millions of signals. Sounds, colors, words, faces, texts, voices, alerts. If your brain tried to keep everything, you would go crazy. So it selects. And how does it select? By attention. If you focus, it stays. If not, it disappears. Attention is the door to memory. Example, You leave a taxi. You are tired, checking your phone, thinking of dinner. You pay the driver and forget your bag in the car. Minutes later, you realize, oh no, my bag, my passport, my laptop. You try to recall the car's number, but nothing comes. Why? Because you never paid attention. You saw the car, but didn't look. You heard the driver, but didn't listen. The brain didn't save because you never told it to. Now, imagine you paused for 1 second, noticed the car, read the plate, looked at the driver, said to yourself, "Black Toyota, plate 4780. That 1 second of focus could save everything. It's the same in class or online. A teacher says something important, but your mind is somewhere else. You read, but think of a song. You listen, but text a friend. Later, you say, I studied, but I forgot. No, you didn't study with focus. You were present, but not truly there. If your mind is absent, your memory will be absent too. And it's not your fault. The world steals your attention with phones, apps, noise. But the truth is simple. You can't save a file if you never opened it. So don't blame memory. Blame focus. From now, whenever you want to remember, stop and look. Listen carefully. Say it out loud. Repeat in your head. Just 5 seconds of focus can mean remembering for life instead of forgetting forever. Now you know, attention is the door. If you don't open it, nothing enters. Step 2 is the base of memory. Step 3, change words into pictures because your brain thinks in images. Now that you use focus, here's the next secret. Your brain does not remember words. It remembers pictures. Think about it. If I say elephant, do you see the letters ELEPHANT? No. You see a big gray animal with a trunk and ears. That's how the brain stores things, as images. So if you want to remember a name, word, fact, or number, turn it into a picture. This will change everything. Words are flat and boring. Images are alive, with color, emotion, and action. Example, you meet a girl named Emma. If you just think Emma equals name, you'll forget. But if you imagine her with flowers in her hair or holding lilies, your brain says, that's fun, let's keep it. The stranger or funnier the image, the stronger the memory. Want to remember volcano? Don't just think of a mountain. Picture a giant cake exploding with hot chocolate lava. Hear the boom. Smell the burnt chocolate. It feels silly, but that's why it works. Because your brain saves things with emotion. Try with this list. Milk, eggs, book, shoes, cat. Don't memorize like a robot. Imagine a giant milk carton reading a book, sitting on shoes, while a cat in glasses watches, and eggs fall like snow. Now it's funny. Now it's alive. Now you won't forget, because your brain remembers images and stories, not simple words. This method is used by memory champions, actors, language learners, and speakers. And you can use it too. So don't just read, see. Don't just learn words, create pictures. Turn ideas into faces, names into images, facts into funny scenes. Then your brain will not lose information. It will store clear, strong pictures. This step alone can make your memory 10 times stronger, especially if you're learning English, new words, speeches, or anything important. Step 4. Use the story method because your brain likes stories, not plain lists. Here is an important truth. Your brain does not enjoy boring facts. It likes drama. It likes people. It likes feelings. It likes stories. That is why this memory method works so well. If you want to remember anything, wrap it inside a story. This tool is so strong. Memory champions use it. Movie actors use it. Teachers, public speakers, even old philosophers used it. Why lists don't work. Imagine someone says, "Here is a list. Remember it. Apple, horse, jacket, candle, ice cream, cloud, socks, chair, tree, monkey." Try to keep it. You may recall 3 or 4, maybe 6 if you work hard, but after 5 minutes, it disappears. Why? Because a list is empty. Each word is alone. No feelings, no links, no action. Now let's try the story way. We don't just memorize, we create a crazy, fun, emotional story. Ready? A giant apple falls from the sky and hits a horse. The horse cries, runs into a shop, and steals a jacket. He lights a candle to see in the dark, but the candle melts an ice cream. The ice cream explodes into a cloud that rains socks. One sock lands on a chair. The chair grows into a tree. From that tree, a monkey jumps down and gives you a thumbs up. Now stop. Close your eyes. Say the story again. You can remember each word in order. Why? Because the list is no longer a list. It is now a movie in your head. Stories connect things. Each one leads to the next. Stories move, and your brain loves movement. Stories carry feelings, even silly ones. Your brain says, "This is fun." Stories paint a scene. Now it is not plain text. It is memory. That is why children remember fairy tales word by word, but forget math lessons. That is why movie lines stay in your head for years, but news headlines disappear quickly. Want to recall a to-do list? Turn it into a story. Want to remember new words? Turn them into pictures and put them in a story. Want to give a speech with no paper? Make every idea part of a story in your head. You will not need to memorize anymore. The story does not have to make sense. In fact, the crazier, the better. Your brain remembers surprise, not logic. So, let yourself be creative, funny, even childish. Because this is not just memory practice. It is memory freedom. Use the story method. If you do, you can turn anything boring into something unforgettable. That is the real power of story memory. Step 5. Practice spaced repetition. Because learning one time is not real learning. Here is a hard truth about school, exams, and memory. Cramming is not real learning. Reading something once does not mean it stays in your mind forever. Your brain needs time, space, and repeat practice to hold information deeply. This is where spaced repetition works. It is one of the strongest memory tools in the world. People who learn languages use it. Doctors use it. Memory champions and top workers in every field use it. Let me explain simply, like to a child. Think of memory like writing on sand. You learn today, you write it clearly. But tomorrow, wind blows, water hits, the writing fades. Next week, it is gone. This is called the forgetting curve. It is real science. If you do not review, your brain will throw it away fast. Here is how to stop forgetting. Learn it once. Review after 1 hour, then after 1 day, then after 2 days, then after 4 days, then after a week, then after 2 weeks. Each review makes your brain say, "Oh, this is important." It saves it deeper each time. After 5 or 6 reviews, the memory is safe forever. It is like changing sand writing into stone carving. Example, you learn the English word serendipity. It means finding something good without looking for it. You love it. You use it, you feel smart. But if you never see it again, after 1 week, it is gone. Why? No repeat. Now, the spaced way. Day 1, learn serendipity. 1 hour later, write, I found a book by serendipity. At night, say it again. Day 2, use it in a chat. Day 4, write a story with it. Day 7, hear it in a podcast and smile. Day 14, teach it to a friend. Now that word is yours forever. Because you did not meet it once, you lived with it. Many learners use free apps like Anki, Quizlet, Brainscape. They test you again and again at the right times. But even without apps, you can do it on paper. Make a box, write the date, review every few days. It is not about the tool, it is about timing. Many people feel sad. They say, I read this already. Why don't I remember? I studied 5 hours. Where did it go? The answer, no review means no memory. One-time study is like watering a plant once and never again. Spaced repetition is like watering gently many times until the roots grow deep and the tree stays forever. If you use this one method, your memory will stop being short-term. It will be strong, lasting, and ready when you need it. Step 6. Use emotional connection because feelings make memory last forever. Here is something powerful. If you learn this, your whole memory life will change. Stronger feelings means stronger memory. Think of your life. Do you remember the clothes you wore last week? Maybe not. But you remember the day you felt heartbreak. You remember when someone laughed at you in school. You remember when a kind word made you cry. Why? Because your brain does not just keep facts, it keeps feelings. That is why this step matters. To remember something, give it emotion. You could read a sentence 10 times and forget it tomorrow. But if one line makes you laugh or cry, you will hold it forever. That is the job of emotion. It wakes up your brain and tells it, keep this. So ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Can I connect it to my own life? Can I care about this more deeply? For example, a history date, April 15th, 1912. Titanic sank. Many just memorize the date. They forget it. But think again. 1,500 people died. Musicians played while the ship went down. Mothers held children. Lovers said goodbye. Some gave up their seats to save strangers. Now, it is not just a date. It is a story of courage, love, and loss. Now you will never forget April 15th, 1912, because you felt it. When you learn anything, ask, can I turn this into a personal moment? Can I feel joy, pain, surprise? If yes, your brain will hold it longer. If no, your brain will throw it away. Even with English words, don't just learn meaning, feel the word. Example, abandon. Don't just say to leave. Think of the day someone left you, or the time you gave up on something. Now that word is alive inside you. Tip: you can even fake emotion. Some topics are boring. You must learn them. Add a feeling anyway. Example, math formula. Area of a triangle equals half times base times height. Boring? Imagine a triangle as pizza. You are hungry. You only get half. That pain of losing half will make you remember. Yes, it is silly, but your brain does not care about logic. It cares about emotion. Even fake feeling works better than no feeling. If you really try this, every lesson will feel alive. And what is alive never dies. Step 7. Teach what you learn. Teaching is like remembering 2 times. Here's one of the strongest memory tricks on earth. If you want to keep something forever, teach it right after you learn it. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because when you teach, you stop being only a learner. You turn into a guide. That changes everything. When you explain something to another person, 3 things happen. You recall it, you arrange it in your mind, and you say it in your own words. This makes your brain rebuild the knowledge from inside, and when your brain rebuilds, the memory becomes solid, like carving on stone. Example, today you learn the word procrastinate. You read, procrastinate means to delay doing something. You understand it. But if you walk away without using it, your brain thinks, maybe this is not important. Within 24 hours, you forget it. But if you tell a friend, hey, do you know the word procrastinate? It means when we keep delaying things we should do, like homework, exercise, or cleaning. I always procrastinate washing dishes. Boom! Now your brain has built a memory that lasts. Why? Because you didn't just read it. You used it. You shared it. You taught it. Teaching does not mean you must be a school teacher. You can do it in many ways. Tell a friend. Speak it to yourself in the mirror. Post it online. Record a voice note as if teaching. Make a short video, even if no one sees it. You don't need students. You just need to switch on the teacher inside you. Students who teach others score up to 90% better. Doctors who train new interns remember faster. Even spiritual leaders say, when you teach, you heal twice. Once for yourself, once for others. Teaching is not the end of learning. Teaching proves learning. It's a free, fast, and powerful tool that you can use right now. If you practice it daily, your memory will grow stronger. And more than that, you will inspire others just by sharing. Step 8. Create a mind palace. Your brain remembers places better than plain facts. This is why the mind palace is one of the oldest and most powerful memory methods. Ancient Greeks used it. Memory champions still use it today. Some have memorized whole books, speeches, or decks of cards using this method. What is a mind palace? Your brain easily remembers places, your house, your school, a cafe. You can recall details like the wall color, the smell of the kitchen, or your favorite corner. Why? Because your brain loves space. So if you connect facts with places, you'll never lose them. Here's how to build one. Pick a place you know well, your house, school, or cafe. Picture yourself walking through it. Door, living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, balcony. Make it clear in your mind. Put what you want to remember into each room using funny images. Example, you want to remember the planets. Living room, a pan on fire equals Mercury. Kitchen, perfume bottle spraying pink equals Venus. Bathroom, globe in the bathtub equals Earth. Bedroom, red dust on bed equals Mars. Balcony, giant balloon bouncing equals Jupiter. Stairs, ring on stair pole, Saturn. Terrace, ice cube on a chair equals Uranus. Gate, blue ocean splashing equals Neptune. Now close your eyes, walk through the house, and you will never forget the order. This works for speeches, words, facts, lists, and exams. Tips: make the images strange or emotional. Review your palace daily. Keep using the same place until it feels natural. At first it may feel hard, but like any skill, it becomes easy with use. Soon your mind won't be a place where facts vanish. It will be a palace where memories stay safe. Step 9. Review before sleep. Nighttime is when your brain decides what to keep. Science proves the last 10 minutes before sleep can shape what you remember forever. When you sleep, your brain works like a librarian. It cleans, organizes, and stores everything. It decides, keep this, forget this, move this. What signals your brain to keep? Repetition plus emotion plus timing. So, if you review right before bed, your brain marks it as important. Example, you study 10 English words in the afternoon, but don't review them. At night, you scroll Instagram. Your brain thinks, these funny videos matter more, and saves them. The words are gone. But if you take 5 quiet minutes before sleep, read your 10 words, say them out loud, use them in sentences, and feel proud, your brain says, yes, save this. Here's a simple bedtime ritual. Turn off distractions. Open your notes. Review 5 key points. Say them out loud or silently. Close your eyes and picture them. Sleep with peace. This takes no extra time. It fits into your night. It improves memory, focus, and even sleep quality. Most people ignore this step, but masters use it every night. Step 10. Write things down. Writing is like pressing save in your brain. People forget what they read or hear, but they rarely forget what they write. Writing slows your thinking, organizes your thoughts, and links your hand with your memory. When you only hear or read, your brain is passive. But when you write, your brain becomes active. It says, this matters. That is when real memory begins. Writing not only helps you recall, it helps you understand. Example, you learn the word resilience. It means to recover after hard times. You understand it, but may forget. Now write it. Word, resilience. Meaning, bounce back after trouble. Sentence, after losing his job, his resilience helped him find a new path. Personal note, I want to be resilient too. In 1 minute, you've turned a word into a story. Typing is quick, but handwriting is deeper. Science shows students who handwrite notes remember more than those who only type or highlight. Writing builds your personal library, your own mind collection. Write daily. New words, key ideas, quotes, lessons. 1 notebook written with focus is worth more than hours of passive watching. Step 11. Use active recall. Testing yourself builds strong memory. Many people just reread and think, I know it. But true memory is not about reading. It's about recalling without looking. Active recall means close the book, close the app, and ask yourself, can I remember this? That struggle is what strengthens memory. Example, you read, consistency is more important than intensity. Now close it. Ask, what did I just read? Can I explain it? At first, you may forget half. That's okay. Each time you try, your brain gets stronger. Why this works? Reading is like watching someone lift weights. Active recall is you lifting the weights yourself. Ways to practice. After reading, write what you remember without looking. After watching, pause and explain out loud. Use flashcards. Question on one side, answer on the other. Before bed, recall 3 things you learned. It feels harder than rereading, but this is where true memory is built. Step 12. Protect your mind from overload. A crowded brain cannot remember. Forgetting often happens not because your brain is weak, but because it's too full of junk. Today, many people wake up and drown in noise, scrolling apps, reading memes, watching shorts. By 9 a.m., the brain is already tired. It's like pouring water into a full glass. It spills. Important things get buried under useless ones. Example, you make a simple list: milk, bread, apples, soap, onions. But after scrolling messages, videos, and news, you reach the store and forget half the list. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain was overloaded. Your brain is a garden, not a trash bin. If weeds grow, flowers die. You must protect what enters. How? Start your day with silence. Breathe before touching your phone. Cut useless input. Mute noise. Unfollow clutter. Journal at night to clear your head. Try digital fasting. 1 phone-free hour daily. Choose wisely what deserves your focus. Don't let strangers live rent-free in your brain. Your mind is your home. Guard it. This is the final rule. Memory is not only learning, it's also making space. Be careful what you allow in. You only get one brain. Protect it. Now you know all 12 steps to remember for life. These are not tricks. They are real methods that make your memory sharper, your English stronger, and your learning deeper. But only if you use them daily. Ask yourself, do I write what I learn? Do I teach it? Do I review before bed? Do I protect my mind from clutter? If yes, you are not just learning. You are remembering what matters. This video is not only for memory. It's for building your best self in English, in learning, and in life. If you loved this, subscribe now. Because on this channel, we don't just study. We grow, we remember, and we never forget.